4 seconds. That's how long Angel Reese stood there with her hand out, waiting for Caitlin Clark to slap it. Clark didn't. She turned her back, walked the other direction, and the cameras caught every single frame of it. Their last matchup drew 2.7 million viewers on ABC and shattered a 25-year WNBA ratings record. So yeah, the whole country was watching. March 13, 2026, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Team USA's FIBA World Cup qualifier against Puerto Rico. The Americans were up 35-12. It was supposed to be a routine substitution. Clark checks in, wearing number 12, Diana Taurasi's number, Reese on the sideline in number 9, Lisa Leslie's number. 2 Legends jerseys on 2 players who can't stand each other. Clark high-fives her teammates, one by one, and then she gets to Reese. And she just doesn't. Reese's hand hung in the air. Then she dropped it and moved on. If you grew up watching the NBA, you've seen this before. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson despised each other before they became best friends. Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boy Pistons walked off the court in 1991 without shaking Michael Jordan's hand. And 35 years later, people still talk about it. This is the women's basketball version, and it just happened on camera at an international tournament. Now, was it intentional? Was Clark locked in and didn't notice? Doesn't matter, because within an hour, that clip had more views than the actual game. And it reopened a wound that the WNBA has been trying to stitch shut for 3 years. But here's the part nobody's covering. That snub wasn't random. It wasn't a misread. Something had been building between these two all tournament. And when you look at what happened on the court, not just the sideline, it tells a much uglier story. Let's rewind to the beginning of the tournament, because Caitlin Clark's return to basketball is a story all by itself. She hadn't played a competitive game since July 15, 2025, 8 months ago. A groin injury against the Connecticut Sun ended her season after just 13 games. Then, while rehabbing the groin, she sprained her ankle. The fever had to shut her down completely. She watched from home as her team made an unexpected run to the WNBA semifinals, beating Atlanta in the first round before losing to the Las Vegas Aces in overtime of Game 5. 8 months of rehab, 8 months of questions. Can she come back? Is she the same player? Clark answered that in about 90 seconds. In her senior national team debut against Senegal on March 12th, she dropped 17 points and 12 assists in 19 minutes. Those 12 assists? Second most by any player in the history of FIBA World Cup qualifying tournaments. In her first game back. Against Italy 2 days later, 12 points, 5 assists, shot 80% from the field. Against New Zealand on Sunday, 14 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, and she got her first start with the senior team. Through 4 games, Clark is averaging 12.3 points and 6.3 assists per game. She leads every player in the entire tournament in plus-minus. She's hit 7 of 13 from three-point range, and she just broke Chelsea Gray's record for most assists by a Team USA player in a single qualifying tournament. 25 assists with 1 game still left to play. Stephanie White, her Fever head coach, who's serving as an assistant on Kara Lawson's staff, put it simply, she's one of the greatest passers the game has ever seen. Clark herself said something that should make every Fever fan exhale. I feel like I'm even better than where I was at the beginning of last season. So, Caitlin Clark is back. She's healthy, she's dominant, and she's clearly not interested in playing nice. Which brings us to the problem. Because while Clark was putting up record-breaking numbers, fans noticed something else happening on the court. Angel Reese, Clark's Team USA teammate, appeared to be refusing to pass her the ball. Multiple clips went viral of Reese grabbing defensive rebounds and bringing the ball up the court herself, instead of passing to Clark, who is the point guard. In one sequence, Reese got the rebound, dribbled coast to coast past Clark's outstretched hand, and threw a long pass that sailed out of bounds for a turnover. Fans were furious. Can you blame her for the snub? One fan wrote on social media. Angel won't even let CC play her own position. Now, to be fair, Reese had a strong tournament too. Against Puerto Rico, she had 10 points and a game-high 13 rebounds, which set a new U.S. record for the qualifying tournament. She's averaging 9.3 rebounds per game for Team USA. Nobody's questioning her talent. But the body language between these two has been a problem since day one. After the opening blowout of Senegal, where Clark had her 17-point, 12-assist masterpiece, there was a brief moment of hope. Fans noticed Reese and Paige Buchers helping Clark up after she was fouled. Reese and Clark were even spotted arguing with referees on the same play, defending each other. World peace, one fan joked. It lasted exactly one game. The Clark-Reese rivalry didn't start in Puerto Rico. It started in April 2023 when Angel Reese's LSU Tigers beat Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes for the national championship, 102-85. During that game, Reese pointed to her ring finger, taunting Clark, and did the "you can't see me" gesture straight from WWE. The internet exploded. Half the country loved her confidence. The other half called it classless. A year later, Clark got her revenge. Iowa beat LSU in the Elite Eight, and 12.3 million people watched it on television. That was the most viewed women's college basketball game in history. Then they both went pro. Their rookie WNBA season in 2024 was a war. 4 matchups between the fever and the sky, hard fouls, trash talk, and a moment on June 16th when Reese caught Clark across the head, a foul that sparked national outrage. In 2025, the opening game of the season, Clark shoved Reese to the floor. It was upgraded to a flagrant foul. Aaliyah Boston stepped in between them. Reese and Boston both got technicals. Clark finished with a triple-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. The Fever won 93-58. After the game, Reese was asked about the shove. Her answer? 2 words: basketball play. Then her team spokesperson cut off the next question. Clark said it wasn't malicious. It's a take foul. Every basketball player knows that. But here's the thing that makes 2026 different. In Puerto Rico, they're wearing the same jersey. They're supposed to be teammates. The whole world is watching them represent the United States, and it's obvious to everyone that these two still can't stand each other. After the Italy game, a 93-59 blowout, TNT Sports posted a photo of Clark, Reese, and Paige Buchers on the sideline, together with the caption, "Imagine looking to the sideline and seeing this trio getting ready to check in against you." Head coach Kara Lawson's assistant Nate Tibbetts praised all 3 after the Italy win. He said the young players did a really good job and pointed out that with Angel down there rebounding the basketball, it gives our guards room to attack. Team captain Chelsea Gray called it really cool watching the 3 of them develop together. So publicly, everything's fine. Officially, they're a team. But the cameras don't lie. And that high-five snub told a story that no press conference can erase. And this is where it gets really interesting for the WNBA season. Clark and Reese are scheduled to face each other 3 times in 2026. The Indiana Fever versus the Chicago Sky. Those games were already going to be the most watched regular season matchups of the year, assuming the CBA negotiations get resolved and there is a season. Now, after Puerto Rico, after the snub, the ball-hogging accusations, the viral clips, those 3 games just became must-see television on a level this league has never experienced. Because here's what your casual fan doesn't understand. This rivalry isn't manufactured. The media didn't create it. The league didn't stage it. These two genuinely bring out something in each other that neither one of them can control. And it has been the single biggest driver of ratings growth in WNBA history. In 2024, 22 regular season games hit 1 million viewers. Clark was involved in 19 of them. When she and Reese played each other, those numbers went through the roof. A'ja Wilson is the reigning MVP. The Las Vegas Aces just won their 3rd championship in 4 years. But it's Clark and Reese who move the needle on television. The WNBA needs this rivalry. The owners need it. ESPN needs it. ABC needs it. Amazon Prime and NBC, the partners in that $2.2 billion television deal, they need it. And whether Clark and Reese like it or not, they need each other. Because a 4-second high-five snub in Puerto Rico just guaranteed that every single one of those 3 2026 matchups will be the most talked about game of its week. But I want to leave you with something that got lost in all the noise. Caitlin Clark is back. Not working her way back. Not showing flashes. Back. After 8 months of grinding through rehab, she walked into that gym in San Juan and broke a Team USA record in her first 4 games. She's shooting the 3 like she never left. She's driving to the rim, something the injuries took away from her last season. She's running the floor like she's 21, not 24, coming off a groin tear and an ankle sprain. And she said something at practice that should terrify every team in the WNBA. "I feel really healthy." Those 3 words matter more than any snub, more than any rivalry, more than any viral clip. Because a healthy Caitlin Clark with a full off-season of preparation walking into a contract year where she's eligible for a max deal? That's not drama. That's a problem for every team that has to guard her. And if Angel Reese thinks it was cold getting left hanging for 4 seconds on a sideline in Puerto Rico, wait until she sees what happens when they meet at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. So, do you think the snub was intentional? Or was Clark just locked in? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you're new here, hit subscribe, because when those Fever Sky matchups arrive, you're going to want to be here for every second of it.